Lightning versus Panthers preseason takes an ugly turn. We'll break down what happened in Tampa last night, plus Locked On NHL host underestimating some of the Lightning's top stars, all on today's show.
You're Locked On Lightning, your daily podcast on the Tampa Bay Lightning, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Lightning your first listen of the day every single day. We are your free daily Tampa Bay Lightning podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. As always, we want to begin this Friday show by giving a shout out to our everydayers, those of you who tune into every single show, every single day. We appreciate you and love you for the support you give us week in and week out. I'm Nick Morgan, and I am joined by the life of a showgirl to my fate of Ophelia, Greg Stevens. Greg, welcome in, my friend.
Nice one. Happy Friday to everyone. And wow, what a game last night. How about that?
Oh, my God. That was something. And
can we just open with a crazy stat real quick?
Okay, throw us your stat.
Between the two teams, 186 penalty minutes. That's insane. That's insane.
That is pretty high up there in terms of what would have been I think regular season penalty record. I think I looked and I think it would have been third, right, maybe fourth for all time combined penalty minutes in a Lightning game.
It's preseason.
It's preseason. It was entertaining up until seeing Brandon Hagel not on the bench. There's going to be a lot of repercussions from what happened last night, including some fines from the NHL handed down. A lot to get to on today's show. We're going to start off, though, by mentioning today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Fun show today. If you missed it yesterday, we put it on our Instagram. Locked On NHL put out their poll of top 100 players in the NHL. Several Lightning players are on the list, but Greg, I'm telling you right now, I have some qualms.
I'm pissed
with where some of these players are shake out, and I have a hot take about the top-ranked Lightning player. You might too. You might have the same take as I do.
Oh, I certainly do.
Yeah, we're going to dive into that. Also, it's Friday, which means we have another awesome Fan of the Week segment for you guys. Lots to get to on today's show. So let's dive right into it with, of course, what everybody I think in the Lightning fandom is talking about today. It's certainly been a hot button issue on social media. Lightning taking on the Florida Panthers last night in preseason, and it was a disaster on so many levels. The Lightning got the win, 5-2. The Lightning are 6-0 in preseason, which that's something I think we're going to break down next week because there is some positive takeaways from that. I mean, outside of just the record, some good preseason takeaway here, but that wasn't the story of the game. The story of the game was how quickly it became unhinged. We had early on in the game, this kind of jump-started everything. Some sort of get-together between Brandon Hagel and AJ GREER. AJ GREER gives Hagel a couple of shots. Then I would say, Greg, safely call it a sucker punch.
Absolutely.
And that seemed to set the tone for the rest of the game. Brandon Hagel came back for a couple of shifts, but missed the rest of the game. GREER not ejected. I think did get 2 different penalties on that same play. And as we learned today, fined by the NHL for basically a roughing penalty last night. Let's start there. Greg, what's your take on the play that started all of this nonsense?
Oh, man. I don't have a lot nice to say right now. so I'm going to be careful. But look, I don't diss people outside of the game of hockey. I never will. Like AJ Greer as a person is different from him as a player, right? So let's just set that tone right there. But that being said, for a guy who does what he does on the ice, I don't know why he's starting this kind of stuff. Because look, he's so mid. He was carried to the cup last season. It was his first full season on an NHL team, despite being on like 5 different teams. Come on. What are you doing, man? It's preseason. Why are you punching people in the face unprovoked? It's unacceptable, and it's disgusting to me that he's not at least suspended for a few games. You can't just wildly throw a punch with a glove on to someone's head, especially Hagel, who we know is prone to concussions now. So hello, a fine is nothing to some of these guys, right? And look, he's not like a top paid player. I'm not saying like that it doesn't hurt to pay money, but like, look, I don't think that's enough for this league. It's like you can't just punch someone in the face with a glove. It's a rule. He should be suspended at least a game or two, or sit out the rest of preseason. But it's not enough, in my opinion, and I'm salty.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is what happens to Hagel now, because as we mentioned, he played a couple of shifts but didn't come back last night. John Cooper was very coy about whether that was because Hagel was injured or whether that was just a precaution. Hagel wasn't skating at practice today. John Cooper said, look, they're not going to be back this preseason. I'm not worried about the preseason. I'm worried about Thursday. But in his typical John Cooper coyness, who, by the way, signed a contract extension, according to Elliot Friedman, somewhere, that got buried underneath all of this. But John Cooper's being his typical kind of coy self about what the long-term replications are. Greg, I'm just going to call out and say it. I think this was a punk-ass play.
Yep.
This was a punk-ass play by AJ Greer. It's one of those, it was 7 minutes into a preseason game, and I know there's some energy, but this is a guy who's safely on the Panthers roster, taking a swing at somebody who's safely on the Lightning roster over what was nothing contact.
And let's be clear, he high-sticked Hagel before this happened too. So it's not like Hagel high-sticked him and he threw. It's like he high-sticked Hagel. I think he was upset about Hagel like potentially milking the high stick. I don't know. I'm speculating.
I think he thought he took a dive. And I've seen, I've seen the argument that it was maybe Greer called for a dive. Hagel said something back to them, and that kind of started this whole thing. But like that's one of
then you engage like hockey players.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what are you doing there? It's not like they're giving it wasn't like a play, because I've seen the argument from Panthers fans that, oh, this happens all the time in the course of a hockey game. But it's preseason, and Hagel didn't take any shots back. Like, he didn't give anything back. It's not like, Greer cross-checked him. Hagel, gave him the face wash, and then Greer punched him.
Right. And if you're going to let that happen, then engage with the etiquette of hockey. You don't just swing at someone who's not expecting a punch, especially with your glove on and like no actual jersey grab engagement. So I hate the whole thing. I really do.
It was a punk ass play from a punk ass player. I'll say it like that. AJ Greer has proven time and time again, he's a punk ass player.
Yep.
And I'm not afraid to face that. But that set off, what was basically a mess the rest of the game. You had the next period, because Greer had a misconduct. He came back. You had that play where Declan Carlisle tried to get at him. Then Darren Radish jumped him. Kudos to Darren Radish for that fight too, because Greer's a bigger guy. He's a tough guy. Radish not really known for that kind of stuff, but he was willing to stand in there, get some shots in. You had just minutes after that, Yanni Gord and Aaron Ekblad getting into it. You had Josh Gadjevich, which is their, big fighter, going up against Declan Carlisle. You had some issues with, Ekblad and Sorelli. You had Jack Finley starting to go after some of the players on the other end. Lilberg and Bennett. I mean, you just go down this list, and there's so many misconduct, roughings, fighting majors in a preseason game. And again, keep in mind, there's one preseason game left in this slate of preseason, and it's these two teams again. Yep. And because of the roster cuts, it's going to be the same group of people.
Yep. And this is why he should at least get a game, because we don't want people getting injured before. Like, I don't care who it is. Like,
No.
it doesn't matter who he's fighting or who he's doing this to. That's just unacceptable behavior in the preseason. And that's why I think he shouldn't be in this next game as an instigator. It's just not. It just shouldn't exist. But look, let me skate over that a little bit, because in the first period, the Lightning outshot the Cats 19-5. I think they went out there and they said, "Look, we're way better than this team." Yeah. And they don't have Barkov, they don't have to Chuck. We can dominate this team. And it ended up 1-1 after the first, but in the end, the Lightning went 5-2, right? And we saw the big boys contribute. Everyone. We saw Gage, Cirelli, Geeky with a sick deke, by the way.
It was a great goal.
Unbelievable.
Seth Jones on the ice.
Oh, just so good.
After that, yeah.
I thought overall the Lightning actually were fantastic. And look, Cooch did his normal self stuff with 3 assists, my bad, 2 Gensel goals. It's everything you want to see. And both of those are on the power play, by the way. Love to see that, especially against the Cats, who shut down that power play consistently, right, in the last postseason. So for me, all positives, I think.
Yeah, so many things you want to see, including, we talked about Nikita Kucherov's kind of haunted by the last 2 playoff series against Florida, not really making a big contribution there. Coming out with 3 assists, I think was good for him. But there's so much good, and here we are talking about the chaos of the game. And look, if this was the regular season, this would probably be fun. Right. But in preseason, like, what are you doing? Yeah. And I say that, I say that to both teams. We don't want anybody in the Lightning to get hurt. Florida has nobody right now.
Right.
They're so thin. Like, that's the headline around the NHL, is losing Barkov, losing Tkachuk. And do they want Aaron Ekblad going out there and, taking fights, getting slammed to the ice? Like, do they want Sam Bennett? I know that's Sam Bennett's game, but do they want Sam Bennett getting himself in a situation where he may, take a little bit of a hard punch, or, fall down, or,
even just breaking your hand in a punch, right? Like, so many things.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that can go wrong. I don't know if neither team should want that in preseason.
I totally agree with you.
If it's regular season, whatever, like, you're competing for points, but it was just such a mess to me. And look, I know, like, that's the headline, and I love seeing players stick up for their teammates, like stick taps to the way the Lightning responded and saying, okay, if that's how you want to go, like, like if you're playing like rec league something and the ref doesn't care, and there's a lot of just like little elbows and stuff that goes, and then finally somebody loses their temper and said, okay, screw it, and just levels a hit. That kind of felt how last night's game turned out. But I don't know, Greg, like this last preseason game tomorrow, I think you got to find a way, if you're John Cooper and Paul Maurice, to crank the temperature down a bit.
You'd think they both want that, like you said. So I hope so, because I don't want to see someone go down either on either team. Honestly, like, I'd rather them both be fully healthy and watch them go to war later than now. Like, this is not the time.
Yeah. I have big qualms with AJ Greer, Greg, but you know who else I have big qualms with right now?
I would love to know.
The Locked On NHL hosts. Because they have released the top 100 players in the NHL. This is a poll voted on by our fellow Locked On NHL host. And I have some big qualms with where some of the Lightning players are ranking on that list. We're going to dive into it and give our take coming up in just 1 second. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel is awesome because it gives you so many different ways to play. You can build parlays. You can do player props. And my personal favorite thing to do, follow the live lines during games with some live in-game bets. It makes football watching even more exciting when you got a little something in the action, whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, or just kind of want to follow the guys on your fantasy team. FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Download FanDuel app today by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. Again, FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app and place your first $5 bet. We're back on Locked On Lightning. Nick Morgan here alongside Greg Stephen. And Greg, let's get in to the top 100 NHL players list that came out today via Locked On NHL. Starting at the top, no big surprise here. Connor McDavid 1.
Yep.
Nathan MacKinnon 2.
Is that okay with you?
I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay.
Draisaitl 3. Cale Makar 4. And then our first Lightning player, we get to Nikita Kucherov at number 5. Greg, I'm just going to tee it up for you on your thoughts on where Kucherov lands on that top 100 player list.
My blatant, clear thought is this is absolutely criminal behavior to have Kucherov at 5. Like, What are these people watching? Like, dude has been top of the league the last 3 years. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Look, Cale Makar is a god, man. Like, I don't want to take anything away from him, but why is he above Kuch? I don't see that. You think he should be above Kuch?
Do you want me to just tell you how I voted?
Yeah.
I had McDavid 1, Makar 2, Kucherov 3.
Wow.
And I think it's scale to the defenseman, but I think Cale Makar is in terms of talent, best defenseman that the NHL has had.
I agree.
And I'm including Victor Hedman since Nick Lindstrom.
Look, Makar is better than Hedman right now. That's just reality, right? I like to be biased sometimes, but I'm also a realist. And yes, Makar is absolutely the best defenseman in the league. I don't even think it's close to anyone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's insane. But I just, how can you snub a guy who tops the league year after year? I don't know, man. I have a hard time with it. Obviously, McDavid is the best player. I think. Yeah. I would even put Kaprizov above guys like Draisaitl, though.
Here's the thing. I'm going to make a point about Kucherov here. If you didn't tell me the player and you said, hey, there's a player who has led the NHL in points each of the past 2 years. He's had 113. He has had 144. And he has had 121. And he's led, again, back-to-back Art Rosses. And you told me that player was Nathan MacKinnon. You would argue Nathan MacKinnon is maybe better than McDavid at this point in terms of his production. So why wouldn't that carry over to Nikita Kucherov?
Because Kucherov factored in on more than 50% of Lightning goals the last 2 seasons. So I think without Kuch, the Lightning are substantially worse. And that is true of MacKinnon, but I also think that MacKinnon with the Avs without MacKinnon might be better than the Lightning without Kuch. That's just my thought. And I just think Kuch does more overall than everyone. No one gives him enough credit. He's a master of assists. I don't think anyone in the league is a better passer than him. And he does make silly mistakes and blind passes sometimes. And you're kind of like, all right, man, let's reel it in a little bit. But overall, I mean, some of the stuff this guy does is just unmatched, in my opinion.
I think there's also some bias here. I'm not going to say anti-Russian bias, but I think the fact that he plays for the Lightning, and I think even during the Lightning's best years, he was kind of in terms of name recognition, star power, maybe third, maybe fourth in terms of because you can argue Stamkos, Hedman, Vasilevsky were the bigger name power stars. I think and I think because of his age, he's been around a while, that maybe he's not as the hot young thing as he was.
But does that not make it more impressive?
It does make it more impressive. I'm not saying that's the wrong take. I'm just saying I understand. I think that's where the argument of him coming in lower comes from. I agree with you. I think he's better than Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of production the past few years, he's been better than Nathan MacKinnon. McKinnon's been right up there. But I think if you're going just based on averages over the past few years, Nikita Kucherov is above Nathan MacKinnon, except for the playoffs.
Yeah. And
look,
like, I think also it depends on what you value, right? Like, if you're valuing goal scoring in critical situations, Draisaitl, it would win that.
Yeah.
I just think overall, if we're just putting everything as one big package, I don't see how he's better than Kuch. I don't. And can you pull that list up one more time? Because I have another issue with it.
Yeah.
My issue is that Kaprizov is way too low. Like, I don't know why he gets the. I know like he's got this contract thing and everyone's gossiping about that and it's like upsetting people, whatever. Just ditch the contract. We're talking strictly skill here. You think he's worse than Austin Matthews? I don't. Austin Matthews is injured half his career. And look, he had a couple amazing goal scoring seasons, but I think Kirill does way more for the Wild than Matthews does for the Leafs. Would you not say that?
I mean, I had Karl Kaprizov lower than that on this list. I had ninth. I had a Barkov ahead of him.
Well, I would say Barkov's better than Matthews too. I don't know how Barkov's not up higher.
Like, Barkov should be. Yeah, I agree. I could see that take.
I mean, Barkov's awesome, dude. He's a great player. There's no reason he should be. What was he, ninth? That's insane to me.
I know Panthers fans have not been happy with the play.
Yeah, I don't blame them at all. I don't even like the Panthers, and I think he deserved to be way higher.
Skipping around a little bit because I want to go to some of the other Lightning players first. The next appearance is 21 Braden Point, which, hey, shout out to his jersey number. That worked out. Victor Hedman, 22, the 5th ranked defenseman on the list. And then you have Vazzy, 30. Some other Lightning appearances after that. You have Jay Gensel, 35. I kind of think he should have been higher than 35. And then I believe Hagel was 46.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you have to jump way down into.
Can we talk about how Hagel is under Bennett? Excuse me. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I can. I think that's
insane.
That's a recency bias kind of thing. The next one and the last one on our list was where's Cirelli? There we go. Cirelli at 89. And those were the Lightning players.
In what world is Tom Wilson better than Anthony Cirelli?
I agree with you.
I love Tom Wilson, actually, but holy, let's talk about value here. Like, I mean, wow, this list is crazy, man.
I'm with you there. Yeah, I mean, there's some wild names. I mean, Jeremy Swayman at 85, who had like an 880 save percentage last year.
Vasi at 30.
Vasi at 30. Okay. Yeah, Vasi at 30. He was okay. Goalies, I think, in general, were a little underranked on this list because you had Hellebuck 7.
Sure.
You had Shesterkin 18, and then I think Vasi was the next one after that.
Wait, but is Vasi not more valuable than, like, I don't know, on this list? I guess not, maybe, but I don't know. It's so frustrating because I don't want to diss Ovechkin because he's a god, right? But how much is he really going to be doing for the Caps compared to Vasi does for the Lightning? I just think that's like a weird list.
Interesting list, to say the least. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're kind of clicking through it right now. You can also find this full list on our Instagram, Locked On Lightning. You can also go to the Locked On NHL Instagram as well to see the full list as well, because you're definitely going to argue with some of these names on this list. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, even Boldy looks low. Like, a lot of these guys look low to me. Celebrini is better than Seth Jarvis. He's better than Bedard. He's better than Rupe Hintz. Just on that page alone, he should have been higher.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones in there. It's Travis Kempe at 74 above Evgeny Malkin or even.
How about Kempe?
I didn't vote on this, Greg.
I know.
I did. No. I did vote on it. I just wasn't the only person to vote on it.
I'm just getting fired up. Yeah, Jared McCann.
Yeah, Brock Faber at 98 is.
How is McCann even in the top 100? It's crazy, man. I can't even look at this anymore.
Who are you more mad at right now, Locked On NHL or AJ GREER?
Ooh, good question. Probably AJ GREER, because I don't want him hurting one of my best players.
I don't know. Are we gonna get Armando Velez over here to just like sucker punch one of us?
That'd be a funny skit, though.
That would be a funny skit. But yeah, it's interesting. Guys, let us know where you think all the Lightning players should chime in. Again, this is on our Instagram, Locked On Lightning. So visit us there. Let us know what you think. We're interested to hear your takes. Coming up next, it's Friday, which means it's Fan of the Week. We've got a fun interview lined up for you guys. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Locked On Lightning. We have Fan of the Week Day, Friday, third segment. Get used to it because it's going to happen pretty much every Friday from now on moving forward. And today we have a Bolts fan, a distant Bolts fan from Canada, Dominic. Dominic, welcome to the show. Let us know, why are you a Bolts fan? How did it happen? And yeah, let's hear it.
Hey, yeah, I'm happy to explain that. Well, first of all, Nick, Greg, thank you very much for inviting me onto this podcast. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, so how I became a Bolts fan. Oh boy. So, when I started going into hockey, like watching hockey, of course, I always started with the Ottawa Senators because it's my hometown. But then eventually, just one day, my dad was just watching a random game, and it was Tampa against the Sens. And then when I was like 8, 9 years old, like, I just like a bunch of weird things. So favorite color, it was blue, and I liked everything lightning related.
Here we
And I was
go.
like, oh no way, that's actually a team. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, there's a really good player. He's young and has a really good future. His name is Steven Stamkos and all that. And I was like, oh wow. And then I don't know, it caught my eye, and then I just started voting for that team. Of course, Ottawa is my second, of course, it's my hometown.
It has to be.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about their history, so like you can't call me like a bandwagon or anything anything like that.
Oh, that's fun.
But still, it was like in 2012, so they weren't that all great. But yeah, ever since that day, I just love watching every single game, and I love everything about them.
You gotta love getting in at the ground floor too, because I feel like
Yeah.
2012 was right when that initial core started to really click. So that kind of leads me into my next question, Dominic, is what's maybe your favorite moment as a fan, whether it's a game you watched, whether it's the first time you got to experience something in person. Is there just
Yeah.
one memory you have of Lightning fandom that really stands out to you?
Ooh. Um, I think it has to be back in 2015 when we made that run to the finals.
Mhm.
That's when I really like started to watch them play like seriously. I was 11 years old. I was still young, but I was just so invested in the team, and I just saw
Making
the
me
run
feel
that.
old with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like to watch them win every single round, started off against Detroit, won in 7 games, and then second round won against Montreal in 6 games, and then went in the conference finals against the Rangers, and that's when I really like took it seriously and paid attention. And I just remember that game 3 winning goal of Nikita Kucherov in overtime. That was just such an electrifying moment.
And a
And
fantastic one.
and
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, crazy. And ending up winning that series in 7. And after that went against the Blackhawks. Then we lost, and I was really heartbroken. I think I cried for like a whole week straight, not gonna lie.
Yeah. What's your conspiracy theory on where Ben Bishop went when he went to the locker room for like 3 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Was that during the finals?
That was during the finals. Yeah. Was he hurt? Was he getting equipment changed, or was it all a ploy to have a quick bathroom break?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he had to go potty.
That's always. I remember Roberto Luongo tweeted like right after that. He's like I can tell you exactly what it is from years ago.
But what I think, like I think it had to be relating to like an injury or just a small tweak that he did. Because professional hockey players, like
Don't
you don't
poop.
just go into the locker room for like to go to the bathroom. Like you go with that during intermissions. But I think it's just related to an injury or something like that for sure.
When in doubt with Ben Bishop, just say it's probably an injury.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
We love
Okay,
it.
my next question for you. It's a serious one.
Mhm.
How are the Lightning going to do this year? Are they going to make the playoffs? Are they going to go past the first round? What do you think?
So during the off season, especially like after we got eliminated against the Panthers in five, um, I just did a lot of looking in the team, and I just tried to find ways of like how to make the team better and all that. And in my head, I was like, oh, like they should re-sign Yanni Gourde. And I was just like guessing. I was talking to my friends, and I was like guessing like what term and like how much they're gonna get paid per year and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I told my friend, I was like, hey, like the Tampa should sign Yanni Gourde like at least like a good like 4 to 6 year contract around like 2 to 2.5 million a year. And then a few weeks later, I see he signed 6 years, 2.33 million a year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was actually right.
Yeah.
And I see the team now, and it's way better from what I think it's way better than what it was 2 to 3 years ago. I think we have a lot more depth. We have more grit, of course. We still need some, but I think we're better in that, and we have better defensive depth as well.
Yeah.
And I think the addition of, Gord, Bjorkstrand for a full year is going to help a lot. I love a lot. I love Gage Gonsalves. He's going to be great.
That's my boy right
Um,
there.
Our
oh
breakout
yeah, that's my boy.
here,
Oh
man.
yeah, he's so good. And in the preseason, he's been looking great as well. It looks like he's been training with Cooch in the offseason during the summer for sure. I see the like his stick handling, his passes that he's making. Those are Kucherov type of passes.
Yeah, and he's
And
getting confidence too. That's the thing.
oh yeah, getting confidence, and he's not afraid to lay the body. He's not shy. He's gonna go out there, give it his all, and he hustles. He hustles hard, and that's what I love about him. I love as well. I'm excited for Geeky as well.
Yeah.
I'm really really excited about him. So yeah, so great team overall. So what I think how the Lightning are going to do this year, I think they're going to win the Atlantic Division. I think I have no doubt that they can be first because, first of all, Florida, you got Barkov probably out for the year.
Yeah.
Kachuk coming back in December or maybe January, you never know. Um, and they're tired, I think they got to be tired eventually, 3 straight runs in the finals. So I got the Panthers third or maybe even a wild card
Nice.
in the
Agreed.
division, and Leafs Sens probably going to be second or third, whatever. But I just don't see anyone on top of Tampa if they stay healthy. Of course, health,
Mhm.
it matters a lot. Um, and for the playoffs, I think if you want to make a run, of course, we can't meet Florida in the first round. That just cannot
Agreed.
happen.
I would ideally not. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we make a run, and the only way we can beat Florida in the playoffs, I believe, is if we meet them in the second round. And why is that? Is because, Florida's tired 3 straight years. And I think especially after a round, if they go to game 6 or game 7 in the first round, they'll be even more tired. And if Tampa wins round 1, which is their mission, they've been
Yeah.
3 straight round, getting past the first round will give them such a boost of motivation.
Yeah.
Um, well, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm.
Okay.
I'm.
Okay,
I'm.
perfect. Yes, sorry, I just bugged a bit.
Yeah, and I'm with you there,
Yeah,
Dominic. It
and
feels like
yeah,
that first round and that initial matchup. Number one, I hate the playoff format, but it just feels like it just feels like that Florida is going to be the linchpin for this Lightning season.
Yep.
I
yeah,
mean, it
for sure.
really is. it's just going to be like however Tampa's, and maybe beyond that too. But hey,
Yeah.
Dominic, thank you so much for joining us. We are happy to have you on as our fan of the week. Thank you for listening to the show every day. If you're listening at home and you would like to be a fan of the week, send us a DM on Instagram, hit us up on Twitter, comment on YouTube. Locked On Lightning is our Instagram handle. I know you can also reach out to Greg on his personal Instagram as well. Not me. I'm just stay away from my personal Instagram. That's just me. But yeah, you can contact us through Locked On Lightning. We're excited to get to know more of you throughout this season. That's going to do it for us on this Friday edition of Locked On Lightning. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day. We'll be back with an all new episode next week. We'll see you then.